What comes to mind when you hear the following terms? 5-year strategic plan, biennial budget. How about Reston Kids Triathlon? Kids running, biking, swimming? Well, there's at least one thing that all three of these terms have in common. They represent change for future generations. Both the biennial budget and the strategic plan will shape the direction of the association for the next few years. And the Reston Kids Tri, it will continue to change the lives of children who had the will to train and compete. First, let's look at the strategic plan. Its purpose is to help the board answer two questions. Where do we want to be in the future, and how will we get there? Tied closely to the strategic plan is the 2-year association budget. Many of the action items in the plan are coordinated with money set aside to pay for them. For months, the board of directors and staff senior leadership team worked with a facilitator to develop the plan. We began by reviewing one created in 2006 and determined much of it had been accomplished. It was time to build and address new issues, such as changes in the way people communicate and get information. The group developed 5 areas of focus and goals for each area: change and opportunity, community leadership and engagement, sustainability and community viability, programs and services, technology. Each of the goals contains a series of objectives, then action steps. For example, under community leadership and engagement, the board wants to conduct a community-wide survey to learn what the members think on a variety of issues. We will also be looking for new ways to make it easier for people to bike or walk. That brings us to the second item, the 2-year association budget. The $14.4 million budget includes both operating and capital repairs and replacement of the community's assets. In 2012, this includes such projects as the renovations at Dogwood Pool and the first phase of work on the 2 baseball fields at Browns Chapel. By the way, preparing the biennial budget is a very lengthy process, and there are plenty of opportunities for you to make suggestions. So, watch for notices early next year, and please plan to get involved. You may not believe that something like a kids triathlon would be life-changing and have a lasting impact on the community, but the first annual Reston Kids Triathlon did just that. Co-sponsored by the Reston YMCA and RA, the goal was to give youngsters a fun way to stay active for the summer and learn about the fast-growing sport of triathlon. About a quarter of the 200 kids who competed were from families who could not afford the entry fee, let alone the cost of running shoes and bikes. However, in the true spirit that is Reston, corporate sponsors and people just like you made that possible. Many of the young athletes had never been part of regular exercise programs, so their teachers at the Laurel Learning Center and volunteers set up regular training sessions for them. Despite a heavy rain on the day of the race, all the children from Laurel Learning Center finished the event, and it has changed their lives. This year, they all plan to compete again. And for the Reston community, this will be an inspiration for generations to come.